Okay, welcome to part 7 of the asteroids tutorial. In this one we will get our asteroids to break down as they get hit by bullets. You see this one gets broken down into the medium-sized asteroids and small asteroids, and then ultimately down to just dust that fades away. Okay, this is our next step. Okay. Alright, to accomplish this, first thing we need to do is make 2 more asteroid sprites and a dust sprite. So to do that, I'm going to make it real simple here. I'm just going to duplicate this asteroid twice here. So again, I can click on it and I can go right click, duplicate, or I can go Control D, does the same thing. So I'm going to pick the second one here, and I like to have things in order. So this is going to be my medium-sized asteroid, and this is going to be my small. So I'm going to double click on this guy. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to change this to MD, and I'm going to import. And this time I'm going to take these 2 asteroids. I'm going to click on this one, hold the Control key down and click the other one, and notice they're asteroid MD1 and MD2. Open them up. So now you see that I've got, as I zoom out here, I've got my other asteroids, and they're still middle centered. That's one of the reasons I did it this way too. I don't have to recenter everything. And then I'm going to go to the other asteroid that I just created, the other asteroid sprite, and do the same thing. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to call this one asteroid SM. Nope, lowercase m. Let me make sure I didn't do that on the other one here. Yep, okay, MD, lowercase MD. And again, this is how I'm spelling them. Uppercase S, little m. That way when it comes time to do the coding, if you want to make sure we're all on the same page, I would highly suggest that you give it the same name. So I'm going to go to import, and then this time I'm going to just pick the little 2 ones here. Again, click on one, hold Control, click the other, click open. And you see now we've got these tiny little ones here. Okay. To make the dust sprite, I'm going to basically do what I did with the bullet and the thrust sprite. I'm just going to draw one. I'm going to draw a simple circle. So I'm going to, again, to just simplify my life a little bit, I'm just going to duplicate the thrust, or I could duplicate the bullet. It really doesn't matter. Okay. And I'm going to go and double click on it, and I'm going to rename it dust. And I'm going to edit the image, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this and then replace it with just a gray circle. So to erase it with it selected like this, with that frame selected, I just go Control A, and then I hit the delete key to remove it. And then I'm going to go to, just like we did with the other 2, I'm going to click on the round brush. I'm going to select 5 because this is 5 by 5 here. I'm going to pick a gray color. It should be a fairly light gray to contrast with the background. So I'm going to pick a light gray, something about right there. And then I want to make sure I click smooth here, and then you see it'll kind of give me a fuzzy gray circle. Now I don't need to put another lighter one in the middle. This is not going to be glowing. It's just going to be a dull gray. Okay. So I can go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and close my room there. So now you see we've got those three new sprites here: asteroid medium, asteroid small, asteroid dust, and joining our asteroid large. Alright, after we've made the dust sprite, we need to make a dust object, and it's going to function very similar to the bullet. It's just over time it's going to fade away. So I'm going to just duplicate the bullet. So again, click on the bullet, right click, duplicate, and we're going to go to it, zoom in, we're going to change its name to object dust, and we're going to change its sprite to the dust sprite. Okay. Now I can review the code here, but it will operate exactly the same way as the bullet did. If I zoom in here, you see image alpha again, which is the measure of transparency. 1 is fully visible, 0 is completely transparent. It says image alpha minus equals 1. This is going to happen every step, and then so it's going to go down 1. So after, or it's going to go 1 over room speed times 3. So as I explained earlier in a previous video, this formula works out so that whatever this number is right here, in this case it's 3, this is how many seconds the dust particle will last. And then once its image alpha gets down below 0, it will destroy itself. Okay, so it operates forcefully. We don't have to do anything much with that. Okay, so now we got to start programming our asteroid. So we got to think about what we want to happen. Let me close everything else here. So we want to think about what's going to happen here. So with our asteroids, we're going to open it up, and what is going to damage this asteroid is a collision with the bullet. So that will be our event here. So again, make sure you are in the asteroid object, and I'm going to click Add Event, Collision with the bullet. Okay, this is what's going to do the damage. So at this point, all we're going to do is just get it to destroy itself. And the way we do that is let me put the description in. Destroy self. We'll just put that. Okay. All right. Next line. What we have to do is when the bullet hits the asteroid, the bullet itself gets destroyed. So we have to tell the bullet to destroy itself. The way you do that is, go to the next line, with other. And what this means is in a collision event, there's two parties involved here. There is the self, which is the item that's being programmed. In this case, it is the asteroid. Okay. Then there's other. The other is whatever it is that you are running into. Now, if I put other, it only affects the bullet that actually hits the asteroid. If I were to put in here, I could put object bullet, there you go. If I were to do this, the code that I write would affect every single bullet, which is not what I want. I just want the bullet that is involved in the collision. So I'm going to put other there. Go to the next line, indent, space down, and then what I want it to do, what I want the bullet to do is destroy itself. So instance destroy, and I need those parentheses at the end here. And again, these are parentheses, these are braces here. So, or I call them squiggly brackets. So, what these lines of code does makes the bullet destroy itself. Well, we want the asteroid to destroy itself too. So we're going to do that. So you just put in the same code here, but without the with other, and this destroys the asteroid. Okay. So now I'm going to play the game, and you'll see if I shoot an asteroid, it just disappears. And the bullet that killed the asteroid also disappears. See? See? This shows me that I neglected to do something when we created the sprites. So we're going to take a little back detour here. I'm going to close this and fix this problem. If you may not have noticed, but the bullets were destroying the asteroids even if they weren't touching them. So I'm going to open up all the sprites for all of these objects here, and we have to fix the collision mask here. So here's the large one here. So I'm going to go to collision mask, and you see the collision mask is a square. We don't want it to be a square. This can be a circle. So if we go to rectangle, and I'm going to go ellipse, So that makes it more of a circle. And again, it doesn't match exactly for the two. If you really want it to match, you could do precise per frame. And so, I mean, if you really wanted to, in a game like this, it's probably okay to do that. But if you have a lot of elements in your game, this can slow down your computer some. So I'm going to go ahead and, since we are having a small game here, I'm going to go ahead and do the precise per frame slow. So I'm going to do the large asteroid. I'm going to go do the medium asteroid. Same thing. Again, collision mask. Precise per frame. Close it. Small asteroid, same thing. Collision mask. Precise per frame. Destroy, and even the dust. Actually, the dust really doesn't matter because it doesn't interfere with anything, so we just leave the dust as is. Okay, now let's get back to the asteroid here. So we've got, now what we've done is we've got it so that the bullet destroys when the bullet hits the asteroid, the bullet gets destroyed and the asteroid itself gets destroyed. So now that's, as you can see in the demonstration before, that's not very exciting. We want it to break down as it's being collided. So what we're going to do is we are going to include now a destroy event, and we're basically going to tell it if we are the large asteroid, become the medium asteroid. If we're the medium asteroid, become the small asteroid. If we're the small asteroid, become the dust. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to add event, and the event we're going to add is destroy. And the destroy event runs right before the object is destroyed. So right here where we told it to get to destroy itself, this runs right before it destroys itself. Okay. Let me expand this again here. So in the destroy event, I'm going to need to expand this a little bit because I'm going to have some long sentences here. So I'm just going to go break apart. There's my description. Get rid of this line here. And so what we're going to do is we say if sprite index equals SPR asteroid large, then we want it to do something. Okay. We want it to make 4 asteroids. Now notice what I'm doing here. I am putting my open and closing brackets right now so that I know that this one gets made and they're paired together. When you're going to do a lot of code that's got a lot of nested statements in it, this is a good idea so you don't lose track of where you need to be. So I'm going to go down one line, indent right here. So again, what I want to do is if this asteroid gets hit by a bullet and it's being destroyed and it is showing as a large asteroid, what we do now is we want to create 4 medium asteroids. So we want to do something 4 times. So we're going to use what is called a repeat loop. And I want to create 4 of the new ones, here. So I'm going to again do the same thing here. Put a semicolon there, and then in between these now, I'm going to do a couple things here to create the new asteroid. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the 4 medium, or I'm going to create 4 asteroids, and we'll make adjustments to it to make that happen. So I'm going to go instance create layer, and then I want it to be created at the same spot as the asteroid that was just destroyed, and I want it to go on the instances layer. I'm missing a letter there. Instances, and the object I want to create is object asteroid. Okay. Okay, so now if I play the game and I shoot an asteroid you'll see it's just gonna, what it's gonna do is create 4 new asteroids. And you see that really doesn't help us any. We remember we want to create smaller asteroids. So we have to now, instead of just creating this object, we have to give it some instructions as we create it. So when we do that, just like we did with a bullet object, remember we used the width statement and then we programmed the speed and the speed and direction of the bullet. We have to do the same thing here. So I'm going to put a width before this and then enclose this in parentheses. Okay. I'm going to go down a line. Now anything we put in these brackets will apply to the new asteroid that is created. And the first thing we want to do is, since we want the sprite index to become the medium, we want to change it. We want these new ones to be medium asteroids. So we're going to go, what we're going to do. Sprite index equals SPR asteroid medium. Okay. So now if I play, if I shoot an asteroid, it becomes 4 smaller ones. And you see the medium ones, since they have not been, if they're in the medium state, they don't, they just disappear when they get shot. Okay. So we told it what to do when it got hit, when it was a large asteroid. So now we can tell it what to do with in all the other situations. So we've got a good framework right here, so we can just copy this. And again, I'm going to go from the line above this, and I'm going to, you know, let's mark this so it's a little bit easier to tell. Destroy large asteroid. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this. Okay. Oh, I got an extra space there. Well, I guess I don't. Alright, so again, I'm going to copy all of this, and I'm going to go right to the end here, and I'm going to paste. So now you see I've got destroy large asteroid here. Now I'm going to go destroy medium asteroid, and this will be a lot faster. Asteroid, and then so if sprite index equals asteroid MD, then again I want to create 4 of them just like I did before, and then with those 4 I want to have them be small. So now when I hit the medium asteroids, they'll become small asteroids. See, now you see I get smaller ones appearing now, but I still don't have the dust, so that's going to be our next step. Okay. Alright, so I will duplicate that again. In fact, I already still have it in the memory, so I could just paste again, but just in case, I'm going to highlight. I'm going above the line, the end of the line above where I want to, before I want to copy, and just select everything down like that. Copy, paste. Okay, so then there's my first medium asteroid. Make sure you don't just copy over the second one, the same one again. And this one I'm going to go destroy small asteroid. And then this time, if the sprite index equals SM, which means it's a small asteroid. Whoops, I got to make sure I spell that correctly. Again, repeat 4 times. And then this time, I don't want to create the an asteroid. I want to create the dust object. And the reason I got to change it here is because the dust acts differently than the asteroids. It doesn't react with bullets or anything like that. So, all right, now we don't want to, we're not going to change the sprite on it. So I'm going to take out this line here. But I'm going to leave a space here because we are going to need to do something here at this point. So I'm leaving the space here for this, and we're just going to test the game, and we'll show, I'll try and show you something else that is not quite right. I'm going to pick one that's moving fast. Notice when I hit a an asteroid that's moving fairly fast, it just stops and creates asteroids in another direction. There's no momentum that keeps with it here. Remember how we when we did the bullets, we had the bullets, if the ship was moving, then the bullets would move relative to the ship. So we're going to do the same thing with our asteroids. And the line of code that we're going to be doing is we're going to be telling it, we're going to be telling the asteroids when they're created here to take the asteroid that destroyed it, or that was destroyed, to make it take its direction and speed, and then add a little bit of your own to make it look like it's flowing here. So I'm going to go back up to the top here where we first did the first asteroid here, and right after where we changed the speed here, or changed the sprite here. Remember right here, if the asteroid large, then 4 times it's going to create 4 asteroids, and those asteroids are going to become medium asteroids here. After this, we are going to set direction and speed so that it matches the asteroid that it was created from. So I'm going to go direction equals, equals instance nearest, and again, remember, instance nearest, it's showing the formula right here. It's asking for x and y. We're looking for the, basically what we're going to try and find is the asteroid that is the closest to this sprite here, or this instance here. So instance nearest, x comma y, and then object asteroid. And then I want to find the speed of that. So I'm going to direction. So it's saying the direction of this asteroid is going to be the same direction as the asteroid that it spawned from. I'm going to copy that line and paste it after it, and then this time I'm going to replace it with speed. So now what this does, and again we did this with something similar with the bullet, except instead of finding the nearest asteroid, we found the ship. So direction equals instance nearest x comma y comma object asteroid dot direction. Speed equals instance nearest x comma y comma asteroid dot speed. So again, this applies the direction speed of the asteroid that it broke off from to it, and then we're going to give it its own little push here. We're going to do the same motion add that we did with the bullets and the thrust. Random 360. This gives it a random direction, and a little push of random, sorry, I'm mistyping this here. Random range, and then this is going to be a small number. Like this is going to be like let's go 0.1 to 0.25. It's just going to give it just a tiny little push so that it moves away from that ship. Okay. I am missing a parenthesis at the end here. There we go. That little red marker there was telling me there was something wrong. So again, it's created, I set the direction and speed, and then I give it a little push in a random direction from there. So if you notice when the big asteroid's destroyed, I'm going to try and find a fast one here. There's a fast one right there. You see when it gets hit, see the ones that spawn from it continue on that same direction, but now you see when they hit they stop pretty much. Okay. So now we've got this part done. It's going to be a real simple process of now just taking these 3 lines right here and copying them, and then every time you see a sprite index right here, just paste that below it. Gift spread index. Okay, and then even with the, and then with the dust, when the dust is created, you can put the same lines in that gap that I left there. Just delete that gap there. Okay. So now when you play the game, it looks a little bit smoother. So we get an asteroid spinning. See, and you see all its little pieces just continue kind of on the path that it was already going. Okay, just adds a little bit more to the realism of it. Okay, we'll see you in the next video where we will start adding an enemy.